a guide to living a life of joy. Welcome to The Architecture of the Soul, a transformative series dedicated to mapping the vast landscape of human emotion. In a world that is often loud and rushing, we rarely take the time to truly understand what is happening inside us. We drift through storms of sadness and bask in sunlight without knowing where these feelings come from or what they are trying to teach us. This series is your compass. Today's episode is going to be about joy. You will discover the nature of emotion. We decode the why behind what you feel, turning confusion into clarity. The art of joy. Practical, proven methods to cultivate gratitude, find flow and savor the present moment. Emotional intelligence. How to master your own feelings so they don't master you. Empathy and connection. How understanding yourself creates a bridge to understanding others, leading to deeper relationships and a more harmonious life. The search for something more. Imagine a child playing in a puddle of rain. Her clothes are wet, her shoes are muddy, and the sky is gray. But she is laughing. She is not worried about the laundry or the cold. She is fully, completely inside that moment. This is a picture of joy. We all want to feel good. In our lives we spend a lot of time chasing things we think will make us happy. We look for the perfect job, the perfect partner, a nice house, or the latest phone. When we get these things, we feel a rush of excitement. We feel happy. But often that feeling goes away quickly. The car gets a scratch, the phone becomes old, or the job becomes stressful. We are then left looking for the next thing. This brings us to a very important question. How can joy be defined and retained? Joy is a bright feeling that rises inside you, sometimes suddenly, like a small light turning on in your chest. It can come when you laugh with a friend, when you see something beautiful, or when you feel very grateful to be alive. In that moment, the world feels a little wider, and your heart feels a little bigger. Joy does not mean that everything in your life is perfect or easy. It is more like a clear note of music that appears even in a sad song. You may still have problems, but for a short time you feel deeply alive, connected, and present. That warm, living feeling, simple, clear, and true, is joy. In this episode of The Architecture of Soul, we will explore this beautiful feeling from different angles. We will look at what joy really is, how we can invite it into our lives, how to appreciate it, and how to share it with the world. Understanding the nature of joy. To build a joyful life, we must first understand what we are building. Think of the ocean. On the surface, the water changes all the time. Sometimes there are huge, scary waves. Sometimes the water is flat and calm. This surface is like happiness and sadness. It changes depending on the weather. Joy is like the deep water at the bottom of the ocean. Down there the water is calm and steady, no matter what the storm is doing up above. You can feel sad or angry on the surface, but still have a foundation of joy underneath. This is why we sometimes see people going through very hard times, like an illness or a loss, who still have a strange, beautiful light in their eyes. They have tapped into deep joy. Joy is not just a personality trait that you are born with. It is a skill. It is something you can practice, like playing the guitar or learning a language. It is connected to how we see the world. If we see the world as a friendly place full of gifts, we feel joy. If we see the world as a battle, we feel fear. There is a story about two men looking out through prison bars. One looks out and sees the mud on the ground. The other looks out and sees the stars. Joy is the choice to look at the stars, even when you are standing in the mud. The obstacles to joy. If joy is so wonderful, Why don't we feel it all the time? There are a few things that block us. The biggest thief of joy is comparison. When we look at other people on social media, we see their perfect lives. We see their vacations, their smiles, and their success. We think, my life is boring, or I am not enough. When we compare ourselves to others, we cannot appreciate what we have. We become blind to our own blessings. Another obstacle is busyness. We live in a world that tells us to hurry. We run from one task to another. We eat while looking at our phones. We talk to people while thinking about our emails. When our minds are in the future or the past, we cannot feel joy. Joy only lives in the present moment. You cannot enjoy a sunset yesterday, and you cannot enjoy a hug tomorrow. You can only enjoy them right now. Finally, we block joy because we are afraid. This sounds strange, doesn't it? Why would we be afraid of feeling good? Some researchers have found that when we feel very happy, we immediately start to worry. We think, this is too good to be true, or something bad is going to happen to take this away. We try to protect ourselves from disappointment by not letting ourselves feel full joy. But this does not protect us. It only prevents us from living fully. How to cultivate and achieve joy. So how do we break these barriers? How do we invite joy into our daily routine? It is not about making big changes. It is about small habits. Here is how to do it. The practice of gratitude. Gratitude is the seed of joy. You cannot be joyful without being grateful. But gratitude is not just saying, thank you, when someone gives you a gift. It is an active practice. Try this. Every evening before you sleep, write down 3 small things you enjoyed that day. Not big things like a promotion, but small things. The smell of coffee. The sound of a bird. A smile from a stranger. When you look for these things, your brain starts to change. You start to scan the world for good things instead of problems. Finding flow. Have you ever been doing something you love, like painting, running, gardening, or cooking, and you completely forgot what time it was? You forgot your worries and even forgot yourself. This state is called flow. When we are in flow, we are completely focused. We are using our skills to do something challenging but fun. Making time for your hobbies is not a waste of time. It is necessary for a joyful life. Connection and kindness. Humans are social animals. We are built to connect with others. Isolation kills joy. There is a famous concept called helper's high. When we help someone else, our brains release chemicals that make us feel good. It doesn't have to be money. You can give your time. You can listen to a friend who is sad. You can help a neighbor carry their bags. When we make others smile, we smile too. Joy is the only thing that doubles when you share it. Mindfulness and appreciating the moment. To keep joy, we must learn to be mindful. Mindfulness simply means paying attention on purpose. Imagine you are drinking a cup of tea. Usually we drink the tea while watching TV or working. We don't really taste it. Mindfulness teaches us to stop. Hold the cup in your hands. Feel the warmth. Smell the aroma. Take a sip and really taste it. Feel the liquid going down your throat. In that few seconds there is no worry. There is only tea. That is a moment of joy. We can do this with everything. When you walk to work, feel your feet on the ground. Look at the trees. Notice the color of the sky. This is called savoring. Savoring is the act of trying to make a good moment last longer by giving it all your attention. A story of the strawberry. There is an old story that illustrates this perfectly. A man was running away from a tiger. He ran until he came to the edge of a cliff. He climbed over the edge and held onto a vine. Below him was another tiger, waiting. Above him the first tiger was growling. While he was hanging there, between death above and death below, he saw a small wild strawberry growing from the side of the cliff. He held the vine with one hand and plucked the strawberry with the other. He put it in his mouth. It was the sweetest strawberry he had ever tasted. This story seems crazy to some people. How could he enjoy a strawberry when he was about to die? But the story teaches us a deep truth. The past is gone, and the future is not guaranteed. All we have is this moment. Even in the middle of a life or death situation, joy is available if we pay attention to the sweetness right in front of us. Expressing joy and the body. Joy is not just in the mind, it is in the body. We often think we need to feel happy before we smile. But it works the other way too. If you smile, your brain receives a signal that says, "Oh, we are happy," and it releases joy chemicals. Don't be afraid to express your joy. Dance in your kitchen. Sing in the shower. Laugh loudly. In many cultures, singing and dancing together is how they survive difficult times. It releases tension and connects people. Sometimes we try to be cool or serious because we are adults. We think playing is for children. To find joy, we must be a little bit like children again. We must be willing to be silly. Joy in difficult times. It is important to say that living a life of joy does not mean you are always smiling. It does not mean you ignore pain or sadness. Actually, people who have suffered the most often have the deepest capacity for joy. This is the bittersweet nature of life. Because we know that life is short and fragile, we appreciate it more. If you have been very sick, you find great joy in just being able to walk in the park. If you have been lonely, you find great joy in a simple dinner with a friend. Acceptance is the key here. When bad things happen, we often fight reality. We say, "This shouldn't happen." This resistance creates suffering. But if we can accept the situation, breathe through it, and look for meaning, we open the door for joy to return. We realize that we are strong enough to handle the waves on the surface, because our deep water is calm. Your invitation. Joy is not a destination you arrive at one day. It is a path you walk every day. It is built on the pillars of gratitude, perspective, kindness, and mindfulness. You do not need to wait for your life to be perfect to be joyful. You do not need to wait until you lose 10 kilograms, or get a raise, or get married. You can start right now. Here is a plan for you to start today. Stop. Take 3 deep breaths right now. Look. Find one thing around you that is beautiful or useful. It could be the light coming through the window, or the chair supporting your back. Appreciate. Say thank you for that thing. Connect. Send a text to a friend telling them you appreciate them, or smile at the next person you see. Life is a precious, short, and miraculous gift. There is pain, yes. There is hardship, yes. But there is also the morning sun, the taste of good food, the sound of music, and the warmth of love. Joy is the decision to focus on these things. It is the decision to trust that essentially life is good. May you find the courage to let go of fear and embrace the radiant light of joy that is already waiting inside you.